Okay, today we're going to have a look at those year-over-year Stouffville numbers. And for those of you that follow what's going on in the media, definitely you can see that the market is taking a bit of a slowdown, which is, to be honest, normal through the summer months. This summer, it definitely does seem to be a little bit more pronounced. I can definitely see that with the ebb and flow of my business and how clients are buying and selling and moving in the real estate space. So we're going to have a look at, what do we got over here? We're going to have a look at July 22nd first. Still playing with the new technology, folks. Bear with me. So July 22. We had 42 sales overall through Stouffville, and that's inclusive of all home types. So that's condos and freeholds. Your June 23, we were 63 sales. July 23 back down to 47. So definitely we can see month over month that there has been some contraction there in terms of the buyer confidence, I guess you could say, in relation to or in response to the interest rates. Average sale price a year ago in Stouffville, again, across all home types, 1,256,000. We were at 1,436,000 in June 23. Currently trending at 1,508,000 is the average sale price in Stouffville across all home types. The SNLR is the sales to new listings ratio. This is how we determine whether it's a buyer's or whether it's a seller's market. So anything under 50% would be considered a buyer's market. So that tells us there's more supply than there is demand. And when you're between 50 and 60%, that's what we consider a balanced market. So enough supply to meet the demand. And then when you get over 60%, that would be indicative of a seller's market, which would tell us that there is more demand than there is supply. So SNLR, 33.9% of the homes that came on the market in July 22nd sold. June 23, 42% of the homes that came out on the market sold, currently trending at 36. So 36% of the homes that came on the market in Stouffville, again, across all home types in July 23 sold. So we're looking at 64% that did not sell. Months of inventory remaining tells us if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of consumption or the current rate of buying, how long would it take to deplete the inventory? So months of inventory in July 22nd, we had 4 months of inventory. So that's quite chunky, actually. That's actually a pretty full market. June 23, we had 2.3 months of inventory. And if you recall my video last month, I wasn't necessarily thinking that was a lot of inventory. It had increased, but it wasn't huge, right? July 23, we can see we're at 3.6 months of inventory. So again, we're entering that zone where we were a year ago. Prices are up, but we're seeing the inventory levels rise as well. And depending on what goes forward, I mean, we know this. We know that the less supply tends to push the price up. More supply tends to bring the price down a little bit. So, we are definitely at least entering into a buyer's market and have been for the last couple of months. Sale price to list price ratio, home selling 96% of ask. A year ago, 105% of asking. Now, if you remember my 105% of asking, I was narrating on this last month. It's really annoying to me because what we're seeing predominantly is houses being underpriced to their true value. So the example I often give is, you have a house that's going to sell at $1 million. We all know it's going to sell at $1 million, but the seller or the agent prices it at $799, and then they're holding a date to review offers. So of course, I always get a chuckle when I see signs sold over asking because, well, it's hard to not see a sign that's sold over asking when you list it at $300,000 below what it's going to sell for, right? But anyways, that's just my pet peeve. I digress. But yeah, 105% of asking. So again, it's an inflated number for sure, but currently trending, let me see if I can get out of the way, 98%. So we are seeing offer presentation dates fail at this point. We are starting to see those offer presentation dates come up with the houses being underpriced, where sellers are expecting over asking, and we're seeing those dates just fail. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But again, we're seeing more to the fact that we're seeing them just not work out, and then the house is relisting for a different price. So I think for those of you that are not wanting to compete for a house. And to be honest, with the buyers I work with, I think that's the vast majority. I think you're going to be entering into a market where it's going to be a little bit more of an easier process. It's going to slow down a little bit in terms of the process. You're probably going to see more home inspection clauses come back in, financing clauses, things like that. The whole process should slow down a little bit when we start seeing the numbers like this. Days on market to get a home sold, we were looking at 19 a year ago, 11 a month ago in June. Now, again, you got to remember that month ago in June, there was still that really ragey underpricing of houses. And so this number of days on market to get a home sold only shows what it took the homes to sell under that listing. So at 11 days, I would be willing to bet that that home had been listed multiple times. Whereas when we're looking at the current month of July 23 at 19 days, that to me seems like a more realistic number for what I'm seeing. Anyway, Stouffville, fellow Stouffvillians, if you have any questions on how this relates to your home, or if I can answer any questions for you about the market, or if you'd like a step-by-step seller checklist, if you're thinking about making a change this year, DM me and I'm happy to get that over to you.